Red light special. What's going on, people? This is What We Thinking. And I'm one of your hosts, Influence. And to the right of me, as usual, we have Bryson.
Hello.
I used to focus only on hurts. I had many gifts, but I was my own curse. But hold up, wait a minute, stop that. I need to focus on now, not that.
Get your mind right and your money tight.
How you been doing?
I've been doing good.
That's what's up.
Hello, people watching. Thank you for watching. We enjoy doing this podcast. This is fun, and I hope you enjoy it as well. I'm doing good. I got my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt on.
Oh, yeah, representing.
Yeah.
Representing.
Yeah.
You know, I got my Transformer shirt on.
That's a Transformer shirt.
Yeah, it's
Is that Optimus Prime?
No, this is a rub symbol. I don't know if people remember Transformers when the figures came out. I think the second year they had rub symbols. So they were like in disguise. You didn't know what it was, and then you rubbed it, and it would either be a Decepticon or Autobot symbol. Okay. So they made it like you ain't know what they were, but I'm just saying, you know, some things don't translate well when you get older, because it's like, what the hell? You don't know who on your team? Like, you don't know all the Autobots? It's only like 12, and you don't know them all? They all in the ship. How this random robot gonna come? You gonna be like, well, I don't know who you are, but come on, let's go. Now later on, when Moore came and they didn't know everybody, like Moore from the planet, that's something different. But I digress, because I will go all day on this subject. But yeah, I always thought it was weird.
Yeah, you're more knowledgeable about that than I am.
Yeah. So, first topic of the day. What you think about the Super Bowl announcement? If y'all don't know, they announced that Kendrick Lamar will be performing at the Super Bowl this year in Louisiana, New Orleans.
I think it's all interesting. Like, on the one hand, I'm happy about it.
Yeah, me too.
For Kendrick Lamar, I want to see that. You know, it feels right to me. On the other hand, the video you sent me today of Lil Wayne responding,
yeah,
I feel like that was real, and like, you know, I understood it. Yeah, like I didn't.
Yeah, I wish, the only thing I wish about that video is I wish he would have, and it's not his place, I mean, but I wish he would have said something like, it's cool, congratulations to him, but you know, but this is how I'm feeling, or maybe saying something about not attacking Jay-Z. Not that he needs defending or anything, but Jay-Z did pay his taxes. So I was like, you know, but I understand. He I don't know. He seemed like he was just waking up. Maybe didn't have his coffee or his blunt yet. I don't know, because he seemed kind of staggering, but maybe he was just trying to figure out what to say.
Well, I mean, to me, like, he seemed all the way there and coherent, and
I guess maybe it's just the way he talks.
Yeah,
maybe from, because he's a little, like, he speaks a little delayed sometimes, sir. That could be just how he speaks. So I don't know, but I mean, he seemed coherent to me. Like, he didn't seem like he was on anything at that particular time.
Yeah, I just thought he was taking his time, and he was expressing himself honestly. And to me, yeah, I was waiting to see if he said something like that, like congratulations to Kendrick, but he put all the responsibility on himself. Like, he said,
I did like that.
Yeah,
because in all fair and honesty, I don't think at this time that he's a better performer than Kendrick. And I don't think that that video that's circulating doesn't help his cause any. I'm sure maybe he just had a bad night. I don't know. You saw that video? Of him performing?
I seen a video where he was like dancing.
Yeah, and he wasn't performing too great. Like he wasn't it just wasn't a good look, like as far as that performance in that video. But I've seen him perform before and be fine, like, and be good. But I think everybody was upset just because of where the Super Bowl is. And at first I thought about it and I was like, oh man, that might be a slight from Jay-Z. And I even told you that. I said that. And because I was thinking about that because he did have issues with both of them. Not that he has any issues right now with Wayne. And when I say both of them, I mean Wayne and Drake. So the optics seem weird. But when you step back, I know you was like, well, it makes sense to me. And I stepped back a little and looked at it and was like, yeah, it does make sense. Because Kendrick's coming off one of the best years he's had, I believe.
Yeah.
And at this time, I don't think there's nobody in the world, unless they're lying to themselves and just super fans of Wayne, that would say that Wayne is hotter than Kendrick right this second. And the Super Bowl, I researched and I found that Dr. Dre was the only artist that performed in his city throughout the whole Super Bowl, like every Super Bowl, every performance. So that's not a precedent that, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I think you said something. And I started researching it, and yeah, Dr. Dre, and I think they paid a lot of money, or they really wanted him, and they also knew that he would bring a bunch of people. And the Super Bowl performance has always been about eyes. Like, I don't know how people don't know that. Like, it's always been about bringing the most people, because there's people that watch the Super Bowl for the performance that don't watch football, that wouldn't watch the Super Bowl any other time, but they got to wait. They got it on and waiting for halftime. So that's all the station wants. They want those eyes. That's the ad revenue. That's why people are paying $1 million for 30 seconds on the Super Bowl stage. So, yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. But after seeing that Lil Wayne response video, it just all not black and white to me. It's like I can see now, like I can understand him thanking the people that spoke out.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't agree with how they spoke out.
Yeah. Yeah.
What they were saying and stuff.
I mean, you got ride for your artists. I mean, I know people always like to say, well, these people don't know you. These people don't, why you going so hard? And it's true in some respects. Like if you're attacking people and wilding out, doing some old, unethical shit because you like this artist and you just wilding doing some old bullshit, that's one thing. But if you're a fan and you're like, well, damn it, it's in New Orleans and I want to see Lil Wayne there, or maybe the Hot Boys, or it's a bunch of the New Orleans artists that should be on that stage, I ain't mad at you.
And then also specifically, I meant like people he do know that was speaking up for him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like artists, other artists.
Yeah.
And nah, I agree with that too. I know today I left comment on Vonnie's post on Ice Cream Convos, and I was like, I don't understand the controversy. But looking at it, I can understand. I still don't understand the controversy, but I understand because I don't think there is a controversy. But I understand why people are upset. I'll put it that way. Understand why somebody would be like, why ain't you pick Lil Wayne? I don't think it's that far-fetched for somebody to say that.
I think it was put in the air. The first time I heard it was from Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club. he was like, yeah, you know, after Usher's performance, and then I heard him say, "Oh yeah, well I think it should be Lil Wayne. It's in New Orleans, so it was put in the air." And then,
True.
you know, I don't know if it hadn't been for that, I don't know how much people would have talked about it, or maybe they would have anyway. That's the first time I heard it.
Yeah,
And,
I personally think people would have talked about it anyway
mhm.
because Wayne does have a big fan base.
Mhm.
I mean, he's a GOAT. I believe that. I believe he's one of the greats
Mhm.
in the genre. You know, he had missteps here and there, but I believe what he did, especially for the South, like how big he got. I mean, it's undeniable in that respect. But yeah, so I think people would have still said something.
Mhm.
But yeah, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately, like I said, I like it. I like that Kendrick is doing it, and I like that Lil Wayne response video. And what I would love is when, you know, it happens, the halftime show, if Kendrick brings him out.
And the thing is, I was saying, and I said it before, not saying I'm first. I just said it before I saw it anywhere. I was like, well, damn, he might bring him out. Like, I was thinking that. And I said it out loud because I talked to myself. So I was like, he might bring him out. Or try. I said try. I did tell you try because, you know, that's Drake boy. Like,
yeah.
Would he do it? I don't know if Wayne would do it. Tell you the truth. Just, I think he would try to be on the loyalty tip because that would cause a lot of controversy. I think that would be a lot of chatter would happen if Wayne did that. But I would be down to see it. And I would think Kendrick would do something like that.
Yeah.
But maybe Kendrick will reach out to some of the other New Orleans artists. I mean, that might be that might add fuel to the fire if he doesn't reach out to Wayne and he reaches out to, like, say Gucci, or not Gucci Man, what I'm talking about. There's a lot of artists. I can't even think of the artists.
I think Bootsy Badass.
Yeah, Bootsy, Master P, all those artists. Like, I could really see him reaching out to Master P because it's like old school. Like, that's before Wayne. So I could really see that. But I definitely think it would add fuel to the fire if he doesn't reach out to Wayne.
Make him say,
yeah. That would be dope if that came on and maybe Kendrick had a verse on it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that would be kind of dope. But the other shoe to that is the new song that Kendrick dropped. After all the commotion and everything. And that song is dope as hell. That song is fire.
It is.
That song is fire. I only heard it twice and I still haven't digested all the lyrics. But I did hear a few things in there and I see why people think it's a diss. I mean, people were blatantly saying it is a diss. But I think he did have some dissy shit in there, but I don't think he made it to be a diss.
Yeah, I didn't see anything specifically that I could say
I did
for sure.
But I don't have it. Like, I can't remember it. But I remember hearing stuff. I remember hearing, that's why I gotta listen to it. I remember hearing it and like, oh, that's for Drake.
Yeah, but it's like
and that's for people talking about the bullshit
now. Like, when we hear Kendrick speak a certain way that we think he's talking about Drake.
I'm not. I don't.
Okay.
Let me put it that way. I don't feel that way. I don't think. I try not to anyway. But I do remember hearing a couple things in there that I was like, I meant to look at that white dude's video. I hate saying that, but I don't know his name. That white dude with the ponytail that breaks down music, and I think I sent some of his videos. Can't remember his name, but he has a whiteboard sometimes, and he has a lot of great videos. He don't just break down music. He breaks down but he talks to like other white people. Like, he breaks down racist topics and things like that. But he's a Kendrick fan and he breaks down Kendrick a lot. And he broke down the song and some of the dissy stuff that he 100% feels that way. And I felt it, but like I said, I gotta listen to it a couple more times to really understand what's going on.
It's like, it's lovely to hear that, like, and I'm just like imagining a whole album of that, like, you know.
Yeah,
it's lovely.
Yeah, I
to
think
hear
everything's
that,
dope about that song.
that level
Like
of
the beat,
just,
the lyricism,
yeah,
like the intricacy,
yeah,
what he's talking about. Like he's not just saying shit. Like he's talking about shit, and like that hook. Like it is that's a deep ass song. So
well, I mean, like, maybe I gotta listen to it more, but I've still like kind of wondered, like, specifically what he's talking about when he says, "Watch the party die." Like,
well, I think he's talking about like being out in the world.
mm-hmm.
Like he's not, he's coming back more spiritual, coming back more towards God, and not being out there and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was watching Lecrae, he broke down. I think he broke down some of it, but I like Lecrae. I watched Lecrae's podcast, and yeah, he actually broke down Kendrick a lot. Like he broke down a couple of his albums, and
I want to hear that. So he broke down some of the songs.
Yeah.
I want to hear that.
Yeah.
Like Lecrae is like, man, he got a couple classics, like Anomaly.
Yeah.
And then this other one, was it All Things Work Together? Something like that. And it was fire. Like, it was like music you would hear on the radio. It was like fire music you would hear on the radio, but it was like, what he wanted to say and what he,
his religious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a couple joints on there, like emotional joints.
Yeah, he's dope.
Yeah.
He's dope. He's always been dope to me. Like I got turned on to him from dude, I used to master his music. He was a gospel artist.
Mm-hmm.
He turned me on to Lecrae.
But like when you say his religion, but it's like it was all real. It was stuff that I could relate to. Like,
oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I probably should say more spiritual, like than religion, because I don't know if he's religious as far as like, he talks about God, but that's more spiritual than anything. Like I don't know what his specific religion is, but yeah, like that's how I took it. Like he was coming, he's done with this bullshit.
Okay.
And he letting the party die. So, but I know some people was breaking it down like, he's talking about party. And I'm like, come on. I thought about it too, but I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if he would even mention him.
Or I thought more specifically, is he talking about the album that Drake and Party was supposed to put? I heard they were supposed to put out.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this in response to everybody responding to his announcement?
That too. And I mean, I think some of it was in the response to like people, because I'm sure he heard the rumblings, because not everybody was respectful with it, with their disagreement.
But nobody said anything about him, though, I don't think.
No, I've seen a lot of people say stuff about him.
Like, I'm talking about celebrities.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's heard, he probably sneaks on social media a little bit. I think everybody does. They all do, even though they're not on there. But yeah, I've seen tons and tons and tons of people say like, why the fuck they got him on there? Like, why is him?
And I don't understand that.
I don't either. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like I said, I understand you riding for Wayne, but you're lying to yourself if you think Kendrick ain't the hottest person out right now, or one of them, coming off of all the madness. I
just was recently watching the Trenches podcast, and they had Joe Budden on there, and Zaire Franklin is like on there, and he was like, Kendrick don't put out enough music for him to be put in certain conversations, and I didn't get it. Like,
no, that don't make
understand.
sense to me. And that does not make sense. It makes sense in the context of like 1 or 2 albums. I can understand if like an artist only put out one album, and that's it. Like they haven't put out anything else. Now that album might be a classic, and they could, say that album's a classic. But I can understand like saying, "Oh, well, I don't know if he should be put in a certain situation." But that ain't Kendrick. Like he's consistently put out even the stuff I don't like. I can recognize that it pushed something forward, and it was groundbreaking, and he took risks. Like that alone, I think makes him in the conversation. So I don't understand that.
Yeah,
wild.
And they want that. They want that at the Super Bowl.
I can't imagine. Like I posted a meme saying Drake watching Kendrick call him a pedophile again on national TV at the Super Bowl. I was like, I don't know. I know somebody said they ain't gonna let him say that, and I'm like, all the shit they say, like pedophile ain't one of the things that they ain't gonna let be said. Like, cuss words and everything else aside, I can understand. But I don't even know if he'll do that song. He should, but
I mean, at least parts of it.
Yeah, he at least the beat should drop.
The hook,
like the beat should drop and the hook. Yeah, the hook. Maybe he goes into something else. But as soon as that beat drop and it's like, I just watched. I didn't see. I don't know if you like the baby, but I just saw his freestyle to that. I didn't see it before. It's like it said 2 months, posted 2 months ago. But that shit was crazy. I'm like, I mean, I knew he could rap. I always knew he could rap. But yeah, it was kind of dope because it's a video. Like he made a video basically for the freestyle song, but it was like just going around Las Vegas. But
I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, but he was saying some shit. I don't want to change subject, but yeah, he was saying, like, it's weird when I hear the baby talk about the incident because he has zero remorse. And I don't know. I think dude was trying to rob him or something. I don't know. So maybe he shouldn't have remorse for like killing that dude. But like in the song, he said, last person that tried me ain't here no more or something. He said, and I always wondered, like, damn, how did that person family feel? Because he always talk about it. Like, he always talk about it. But yeah, that's, I don't know. That was wild. It was kind of wild to me. And I'm like, am I getting old? I'm getting old. Like, I'm getting old.
Yeah, that's interesting because that's his perspective.
Yeah.
If he felt like
and no, I can understand.
Yeah,
like if somebody's trying to rob you with a gun or shoot you or whatever he was trying to do.
Yeah,
I think they were. He was trying to do something harmful. I mean, you get what you get, but at the same time, I think me personally, like that would fuck with me probably, regardless of the situation.
Right. Yeah.
I think it would fuck with a lot of people regardless of the situation. Some people just built different. I think that's what he's trying to say, probably. But yeah,
right.
I was just bringing it up because I saw it last night by mistake. Just flicking through YouTube. And I was like, "What's this?"
Hey Ben, check this out. I've been thinking. I gotta get this out. I've been thinking. I didn't know what you were talking about at the top of the pod when you were like, so sometimes like Transformers will come down to Earth and they don't know which team they're on. Why is that?
Because they're from a planet. This is wild that we're having this conversation.
Oh wait, because they're all the same.
Yeah, they're from a planet.
Yeah,
and their planet is just like our planet.
Yeah,
like there's millions and millions of them.
Yeah,
the ones that are here is just because they crash landed here,
right?
And looking for some shit. So they had a war on their planet though, but they don't know everybody. It's just like anybody. It's just like the army.
Yeah.
Like it's 20,000 people on this side, 20,000 people on this side. You don't know everybody. So they don't know everybody. So, but the ones that came in the ship, they're all like family. So they all, they came in the ship. They were all like together fighting the war. And they're like a platoon, I guess you would say. So the ones that came together like a platoon and the Decepticons are like a platoon, but then the other ones come periodically, and they don't know. They don't know, like, who's this? Oh, I'm an Autobot. Like, fuck, I don't know you. Like, you got to prove to me that you're an Autobot. So, yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and in the comic book, I mean, it's even deeper.
So you was saying, like, how did they not know? How can they not tell?
Yeah, in the beginning when they first started the rub signs.
Yeah.
I'm like, everybody knew each other. Like, they all knew each other. They all knew all the Autobots and all. So, like, Bumblebee coming in with a rub sign, like, oh, who are you? Like, and then they rub it like, oh, you're Autobot.
Oh, okay.
Sure, I'm Bumblebee. Like,
that's how it would be.
Hey, Bumblebee. Like, yeah, that's how it was at first.
Okay.
Because everybody had a rub sign, like they switched over. It was all tactic to sell toys. That's all. That's all it was, a tactic to sell toys, because they're like, oh, this is dope. We don't know who this is. We got these 2 cars. We don't know if they're Decepticons or Autobots.
How do you feel about? Have you seen the preview for Transformers 1? Yeah,
I have. I don't want to be too disparaging, but I like the story. I think the thing that I am disappointed about is I thought it was going to be more adult.
Okay, yeah.
And less kiddie.
Yeah.
I understand why, and that's where the money is. So make it family friendly. The more people can come. But the story is an adult story. Like that's straight out the comic book, because they were just they were workers. They didn't transform. They were workers, and like Megatron and Optimus were friends.
They was cool like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were cool, but it's kind of how Magneto and Professor X is. It's the same. What do you call it? I can't think of the word.
Dichotomy?
Yeah, I was gonna say dichotomy. That shit was in my brain, but I don't know if that's the right word.
Okay.
But it could be the right word. But it's basically the same like plot as all those, like Megatron and Optimus, like Megatron and Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, like all that is the same, because they want the same thing, but the way they're trying to get to it is different.
Okay.
And Optimus is like, we need to protect the humans. And Megatron's like, fuck them. It's all about us. They want to destroy us, so we're going to destroy all of them and all of y'all and whoever else ain't for the Transformers. And Optimus is like, yeah, I want us to stay alive. I don't want them to fight us, but they're humans. They don't know what's going on, so we need to protect them too. And that's basically what it is. And that's why they split with the war. So they just got 2, and whoever the people want to go with them and feel like, oh yeah, that's who I want to go with. That's who they go with. Because there's been Transformers that switched sides and became Autobots and Decepticons, vice versa. So I guess it's all about your beliefs and how you believe.
So at the very beginning of the cartoon, they had
no, the cartoon I don't even think started that. It's more in the comics.
The rub sign.
Well, the cartoon started a rub sign. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's
so
what
at
you was
the
about
beginning
to say.
of the rub sign, they came out and then oh, I'm a Autobot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a Decepticon.
Yeah, in the beginning. Yeah. So
okay.
When the rub sign first came out, but it, like I said, it's all a ploy. That's all the cartoon was a half an hour commercial for toys. That's it. That's why in '86 they killed all the Transformers so they could make new toys, so people could buy new toys. That's why they made, they killed Optimus, which was the biggest mistake in their career, because like they got hate mail and all this shit. That's why they brought Optimus back. They had to almost. Because people was like, fuck this, we ain't watching this shit no more. They sent them letters. They was fucking boycotting the damn toy lines. Like, they're like, oh, this is a mistake. Like, we killed Optimus Prime. Traumatized a bunch of kids. Because that movie was wild. When I saw that movie, like, because you go from the cartoon, 2 seasons of the cartoon, where nobody gets killed. Nobody hardly gets shot. Just like G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe movie was the same way. You go from the cartoon where nobody I did like the G.I. Joe movie, the cartoon movie. And like You go from nobody getting shot to people getting shot and killed and dead, and Transformers getting shot and killed and dead, and in the beginning, like that shit is crazy. Trauma. Talk about trauma between that and Never Ending Story.
Mm-hmm.
When is it Atreus? You watch the Never Ending Story?
That's with
classic.
the big thing with the fly.
Yeah, that's classic. But Artax, the horse. When the horse fucking drowned in the damn mud, man, that was traumatizing for a 10-year-old. Yeah, between that and Optimus Prime, man, that was the first. That was the first brush with death. I think one of them. You know what I mean? Like if you ain't have nobody die in your family that early, like that was the first brush with somebody dying that you cared about. Like that's wild to think about.
I might have to go back and see, like, check out the rub signs on the cartoon. But it would be cool if somehow you could rub that and reveal something.
You know what? When I wear this to conventions, people used to say that, like, "Oh, I just want to rub it."
Oh yeah, dude said that on that podcast.
Oh yeah.
Or somebody commented.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I think they made it like this. Like they made it kind of sparkly in the middle and not just the shirt.
Yeah.
Like because it kind of does look like the rub sign.
That was funny. Somebody was like, I just want to rub Ben's chest.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yo, you remember a movie? I remember I used to watch this movie. It was about this like He-Man type character, right? It was a real live action movie, right? And they had these flying things that would come and they could catch a human, put their wings around it, and they kind of like had acid that would eat them up. And they'll open their wings and it's like bones and gooey stuff. They're like gone. I don't know.
That sounds traumatizing too. As a kid.
Maybe it was. That's why I thought about it when you was talking about.
Jesus Christ. What's it called? You don't know?
I don't remember.
Man, you gonna have to describe.
It's one of
that
them
to me.
'80s movies.
I'm gonna try to find that shit. Yo.
Yeah, it's like a He-Man type character. The way like he was outfitted, had long hair, and I remember them things that would come. They had wings.
It was a movie.
Yeah, and if you got caught up,
oh, it was a rat.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know what that is.
I mean, you can't. I don't know. I gotta listen to that song, but I don't know if he can perform that without something being about Drake. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh no. I don't think he cares about that. Like, I just think some of what he's saying in there, they might not.
Because it'd be crazy.
They might not let him.
You got the whole Super Bowl in the world saying A minor.
Yeah, and you will.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like, that's one of the biggest lines.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I feel like that would be fine. Like, they would be fine with that. But certified pedophile, like, yo, yeah, that's crazy as hell. And I'm still tired of the song, but I know the great.
I haven't heard it in a little
I know the
while.
greatness of the beat. I hear it because on TikTok.
I heard it's still in the top 10.
Yeah, I'm sure. That shit's wild. So, did you see the private spacewalk?
No.
Yeah, SpaceX launched the shuttle. That's private. So, and it has two private people, a billionaire and an engineer. But they're just regular citizens. I mean, he's a billionaire. So, in a spaceship. And he went out in space. Like, it's the first time that anybody that's not an astronaut walked in space.
Mm-hmm.
And he popped out. Looked like he had and people was like, astronauts have to wear, NASA got these big ass suits and stuff. Dude looked like he had a race car suit on. Mm-hmm. Like, when he popped out, like, that shit was all tight and had a little helmet. And he just popped out. I don't know how far. I don't know if they went far or what, but yeah, that's wild to me. That's a big thing. Even though, despite what I feel about Elon Musk and some of the stuff he's doing, like, I think this will be innovative. I would like it better if he tried to solve the homeless problem, but but I think this is innovative, and it does lead to other innovative stuff. But I still ain't shooting him no bail. But yeah, that was big. And I see a lot of people saying they should get the astronauts that are stranded. One thing I wanted to say last week, astronauts are stranded by way of language. Like, I don't think people understand they're on the space station. There's a bunch of people on the space station. 1. 2, they have all the food they need, and people keep constantly coming up there. So every time somebody comes up there, they bring food. They're not going to starve to death. Like, they could probably stay there for another year if they needed to. So it's not really stranded. Like, people hear, I think the news, the media, they need that sensationalism. Like, 2 astronauts are stranded because Boeing's space shuttle is jacked up, or
but they can't get back right now. They
can't get back on that space shuttle. They could send another space shuttle up there and go get them.
Oh, okay.
But they're fixing the space shuttle, the one that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So they're technically stranded because they don't want to. Actually, the space shuttle works.
Mm-hmm.
They're just concerned with some of the parts on it.
Mm-hmm.
They're concerned with re-entry because it's hot. It burns up for all my fake spacers, people that don't think space is real and they're up there for real. Yeah, they burn up when they come into the atmosphere, so they're afraid that something might malfunction. So that's what they're doing. So technically, they are stranded because they can't. They don't want to leave. They feel like they can't leave, but it's not like a normal stranded. Like when the news reports it, it's like they about to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's how the news reports it.
Yeah.
Like they about to die. Nah, they're not. They're out there with people, a bunch of people from all different countries, because everybody is an international space station. That's the other thing I don't think people, like, we got Chinese people, Russian, all these people working together, like in space, but we can't work together down here. That's another topic. But yeah, they're all working together. They all bring food when they come up there. They bring their own little,
Is there video of this? I would like to see them. Like,
yeah, there's video on there.
Okay.
Yeah, they're up there. They have a 24-hour feed.
Mm-hmm.
I watch it all the time. It's on YouTube and it's on IG. They post, but they post on IG. It's somebody posting. I think it's a community because it's different people sometimes posting. I think either NASA runs it or it's a community IG, like with everybody. But yeah, they're up there chilling. They fine. They all right. Like, they'll be all right. I don't think there'll be a problem because worst case scenario, it's a lot of money to launch another space shuttle, and have more people go and pick them up. But that's why people are like, well, Elon Musk go. But they're doing experiments. I think they're actually trying to fix the space shuttle, like to make sure it's fine now and in the future. So,
I mean, they may like to be back home.
Yeah, they were supposed to be back home.
Yeah.
So you know how that is. Like, if you have it in your mind, I'm sure they want to see their families. They want to, see their kids. They've been up there for a while. So I'm sure they want to, do all that. So it's not like, this is all right.
And then it's like, who knows what kind of mental mental strain or mental, maybe, what kind of thoughts or what a person is thinking mentally in space. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then you can't go back. So it's like,
psychologically, it could be more of a toll. What?
We have no evidence of like the alien monsters and stuff like that. So
yeah, we don't know. There's, they may see some stuff flying around. Speaking of diss tracks, did you watch the debate?
I did not watch the debate, but I've seen
clips by now.
Yeah,
I'm
clips,
sure. I'm sure.
coverage.
Yeah. That was a dumpster fire for Donald Trump. And what's funny is only his super base, the people that are basically cult behavior, has said that he didn't lose. Everybody else, even the Republicans on Fox News, talked about how bad he did and how asinine he is. Now, I debates are weird for me because I don't see them. I know they say swing voters. I don't know how many swing voters there are these days. It seems like, and it could be the loud minority, because I think a lot of what we see online and social media is the loud minority. I think more people are together as far as thinking wise. Like, they're not so extreme, but there are a lot of extremers. And I think that's what we hear a lot. We hear a lot of the extremers. But at the same time, I don't know how debates work this late in the game. Like, I think everybody already has who they're gonna vote for. Like, I don't think it changes anything. I don't think these debates, it should. Let me put it that way. It, especially on Donald Trump's side, like, to see him just blatantly lie a lot, which we already knew he did. And all disclaimer, you may say I'm biased because I am. I'm biased against stupid assholes.
When he was like, they have. Once the baby comes out, they kill the baby. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Like, that's crazy.
yeah.
And I seen people trying to justify, like, well, you don't know what's going on. I'm like, what? Is it a stillborn? Like, a stillborn is dead already. I mean, I know this is a hard topic, so I guess trigger warning. But, if it's a stillborn, that's one thing. That's not what he said.
Yeah.
He said they're having abortions at 9 months or when the baby comes out. That's fucking murder. Like, that's not abortion no more.
Yeah.
That's murder. So, yeah, that shit, they said they fact checked him. And he told 33 untruths. And Kamala told one, which I don't know what that was. I don't know his 33. I mean, I could think what his 33 was, but I don't know.
Like, one of my takeaways was like, what do Donald Trump be doing? Because I've seen him on a couple occasions where he seems unprepared or he don't know fully about certain things.
He doesn't. And that's the thing that I don't understand. Like, regardless of if you think Kamala is going to be a good leader or whatever the reason you're not voting for her, you got to say to yourself, she's definitely more prepared. She knows more. She's in one of the jobs right now. So she has more behind the curtain. And he is not. Like, he's on the opposite spectrum. Like, regardless of how you feel, I don't know how anybody can't see that. Like, anybody that supports Trump right now, like I said, they're part of his cult. Like, they're part of that. Like, there's a bunch of Republicans that are hardcore Republicans, super right, that is like, nah, bro. Like, this ain't it. Because they know. Like, regardless of how you feel, the only people that are supporting him now are people that like what he's saying and like his rhetoric. And that's it. That's why I ain't got time for him. I know people are always like, well, how you gonna unfollow people because of their political, or how you gonna not talk to people because of their, and it comes a point where I'm like, listen, I don't need to lose no brain cells over talking to you. So I'm fine. Peace. Whether you want to unfollow me or whatever, like, I don't care. So that's where I'm at. But the other thing I hear a lot is, I heard somebody say, well, y'all don't know if they're eating dogs. And I was like, okay. These people are wilding. Like, they're wilding. And the other thing I saw today was people saying, why did Why did they have that fact checked ahead of time? It must have been going on. I'm like, no, JD Vance been saying this shit since Monday. He been saying that bullshit from on Truth Social probably, but he's been saying it and repeating it, and that's why Trump said it, and that's why they checked into it. Like they had it beforehand because they already knew. They Trump's playbook, and it's crazy. It's crazy. The other thing I saw that I'm not sure. I'm not the greatest. Like, I don't know everything about the political system, but there's some stuff I do know. And also there's stuff that you can look up. So people are saying, well, why isn't she doing what she's doing now? I'm like, she's the fucking vice president. She's not the president. Like, do you not understand that? You understand the vice president's job. So if you don't, for political education, I'm not going to talk down to people. I'm going to try not to, because sometimes I get upset because we have a fucking whole world at our fingertips. You can just Google it. And yes, you got to check your sources, check all that shit. All that aside, you can do that. Like if you just want to spit, if you want to be part of the conversation and be truly, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess real or damn, I don't know what word I'm looking for. Genuine, I guess. Maybe genuine. Yeah, if you want to be genuine in your questioning of, I have no problem with that. I have no problem. That's what you should do. Like, I'm not telling you to just vote for her, because, I mean, I would tell you that. But I understand if you're not going to do that. So just be genuine. Look up shit. Like, they're like, well, she ain't do none of this stuff now. Like, a vice president does not make laws. They cannot put their own legislation in or policies into practice. They can't. It's no, their main jobs are to take over as president if something happens to the president, be the head of the Senate, and they can tie break decisions in the Senate. They can tie break and be the deciding factor of certain things. That's it. In recent years, vice president has become more in the forefront than in the past. In the past, it wasn't like this. Like, the vice president wasn't like this much in the forefront. And in respect to that, I think she has been quiet because she's not as much in the forefront. And people keep saying that too. Like, well, where's she been at? She been doing her vice president's duties. Like, vice president historically hasn't been a big figure and hasn't been a very visual figure. Like, it's always been about the president. But just recently, people are used to, like, Biden and Obama. They're like, well, Biden was a big figure. Like, he was. I think it's just their dynamic that made it, and maybe a few other vice presidents were. But can you name vice president? Like, name a president in the past. Can you name their vice president? That's what I always say to people. Like, most likely, no. Like, if you think back to presidents, like, even like John F. Kennedy or old presidents like George Washington. Like, who's his vice president? I don't know.
I remember Al Gore.
Al Gore, yeah. I remember Al Gore. Al Gore made the internet, though. So he basically created the internet.
So basically, it was a victory for Kamala Harris, the first debate. Like, she won the debate.
Yeah.
But as you were saying, you don't know
if it affect anything as far as it may, though. It may swing. There's things called swing voters. I don't know if I believe that there's a big number of swing voters, especially now. I think this is a very polarizing, as a lot of elections are, but I think this is even more polarizing election than in the past. It reminds me of Barack. When was that? 2008? Yeah, like, I just remember that. Like it reminds me of that.
You said you thought she was about to say.
Oh yeah, that one part.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I don't know if you saw the video online when they asked her favorite cuss word. And
No, I didn't see
she's like, I can't say it. And then she says it starts with an M and ends with a And I was like, motherfucker. And she started cracking up. And then they played that clip when she was like, this former president. But as soon as she said that shit, I was like, she about to say motherfucker. And that's where he gets you with the stuff he said. I think that was the first time like she was disgusted at the stuff that he was saying. Not the first time, but just like it was like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're talking about this, and when she was talking about him inviting the Taliban to Camp David, people be claiming they're patriots and all this stuff, but he does that, and she, she explained that really well. Like, this is a sacred place that they invite some of the best world leaders that they feel are great leaders and care for their people, and you want to invite the Taliban there? These people that done destroyed a lot of stuff in terroristic attacks. And to be clear, not everybody over there is Taliban. I know people be like, Taliban, it's in the Middle East. And I'm like, it's not a fucking country. Mm-hmm. Like it's a small terrorist group amongst these other people that are scared of them too. Mm-hmm. Like just because they're the same ethnic group or whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, she, she was talking about that. I do think the debate was very not off the rails besides what he was saying. Mm-hmm. And I think that's because of the rules. A lot of those rules he wanted to come up with. But I do think it was cool. Like the mics were turned off if they weren't talking.
Yeah.
No audience. I think it would have been a shit show if they had a live audience, because I think a lot of people would have been in there like, what is he talking about? I watched the whole debate. I wasn't planning on watching the whole debate.
How long was it?
But it was so interesting, hour and a half, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 90 minutes. There's only 2 commercial breaks, so I was there. There's 2 breaks is when I went to the bathroom. So I watched the whole thing from beginning to end, and I didn't think I was going to. I just wanted to see a little bit. But when they started getting into it, I'm like, oh, shit. And then she, looking at their strategies going into it, like, they said she needs to be this. And I was, even that, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is the plight of a black woman. Like, because when the analyst was saying like she needs to be this, she needs to be that, she needs to be this, she needs to be this, she needs to be this, and I'm like, yo, that's a lot of shit. And she was, but still, like, why she needs to be all of this to beat this one thing, like where he ain't none of this. So and they said to him that he needs to just not respond or not react to the stuff that she says, debate him. And when she said his rallies, yo, when she said his rallies, she was like, let's go to his rallies. This is something I'll never say. Go to his rallies and see. People start leaving early because they're exhausted and bored. Yo, he was pissed. He was like, I got some of the best rallies ever. He always says that shit because that's his. What they say, his rallies are his most pride family member. The fact that we ain't serious about shit. It's funny, and I think we should make light of some stuff, but it gets overwhelming at times. But the memes that came out of that debate, oh man, I made a couple. I ain't gonna lie. I saw somebody stole my meme. Well, everybody have the same independent thought, especially if you're intelligent. I think, like, if you're intelligent and a Marvel fan, a diehard Marvel fan, I think you might have had the same thought when I made the when he was like, I have part of a plan. And then I put Rocket and Peter when Peter was like, I had 12% of a plan.
Yeah.
He's like 12%. He's like, I put that on the end of it, and I saw a couple other people do it, and I was like, they stole that from me. But you know, I know people can have independent thoughts and be the same thought. It's not always theft.
What was interesting is like I heard somebody talking and I thought this too before I heard
Them talk.
Yeah, they were like he did have a plan. And it's the what you call it? Project
2025.
Yeah. But they were saying he's
trying to distance himself. Yeah. He said he don't know what that is. He said it at the debate. He's like, I don't know what that is. He's like, they done said it, they mentioned it around me, and that was it. Okay. JD Vance then said it. Oh, and he threw him under the bus too. And I'm like, if that doesn't show you, Trump and Jon Stewart said it best. He was like, this is somebody, regardless of everything, he will always run away from accountability. He will always try to blame somebody else, always try to throw somebody else under the bus. It don't matter who it is. His wife, his family members, people he's running with, his party members. It doesn't matter. When it comes down to it, he's trying to throw somebody else under the bus and not take accountability.
And he also said,
and they were like, that's like, why would you want a leader with that quality? Like, that's such a character flaw for somebody to have and for somebody to be president of the United States. Like, that alone, he was like, that alone should make you not want to vote for him.
And he also said, what was it, January 6th?
Yeah.
Said that I had nothing to do with that.
That's what he was. Yeah. That's what Jon Stewart was talking about when he said I ain't had nothing to do with it. And Jon Stewart pulled up the tweet that said, meet me at the Capitol on January 6th. It's going to be wild. Like, that's the tweet. And I said, yo, this dude just be wilding. But when he threw Vance under the bus, because he was like, yeah, he mentioned, he said it. He was like, he said it. He said, I ain't got nothing to do with that. He's like, he said it. And I'm like, yo.
That don't look good. That don't sound good.
No.
That's your running mate?
Yeah, that's your running mate, and this is what you do? Come on now. It's only one reason people voting for him, to make America great again. You know what that means.
I was driving my work truck somewhere. Where was I? In PA somewhere, and I saw somebody had on their truck, on the back of their pickup truck, they had something like, I want it to be like it used to be, or I want to live like it used to be, or something like. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like,
it means what you think it means.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Like, it's crazy to me, because even when people, like, I feel weird when people be like, I just want to go back. I'll go back. And when the question, let me put it this way. This is what a lot of people don't get. They don't look at it from outside perspectives. And I remember being in college and feeling weirded out by, if you would go back in time, there was a question. I think we had to write a paper. If you would go back in time, where would you go and what year? And I'm like, but they were talking about, like, go back, like, if you could see a historical event. And I wrote the paper and I was like, none of them. Like, what, maybe 88, 90 I'll go back to? Like when I was a kid? But you want me to write about going back to 1800s or whatever? Like, I don't want to go back there. Like, why would I want to go back there? And that's what I said. And I don't even think the professor understood or thought about it until they read it and was like, oh, damn. You know, I'm like, because I'll be a fucking slave if it was back there.
But just
granted, I might be in a house, but still.
Did it mean just American in American history? Because you go back.
No, it don't matter. But in any history, like, I don't want to go back. Like, I don't want to go back there.
I actually thought about that today.
They said American. They were talking about American history, like, because they were talking about, like, the war, Revolutionary War, all that stuff. They want you to write a paper from that perspective. But I was nah, bro.
I actually thought about that today, because I was like, I'd fit right in the 70s, Jack. Hey, Fox lady.
And that would be,
then I was like,
cool.
I don't know.
But at the
Because
same time, that's still, you
Yeah.
know, it's still, you still in the shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we still in the shit.
Because recently,
but-
okay, here's another topic. Recently, I've been watching Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist.
Oh yeah, I want to see that. Don't tell me nothing.
Okay.
Not a single thing.
But
I ain't
in
started
it
yet.
is some racial stuff. And I'm like, oh.
It takes place back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like the 70s, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that much better.
Yeah.
People be acting like it's been years. And people act like it's been decades or centuries, like since it's been bad. Nah, ain't been centuries. It was
Let me see.
bad
Is
in
it-
the 70s and 80s.
Is it the 70s? Because, okay, when did Muhammad Ali come back for his first fight against Corey?
I couldn't tell you.
All
It
right.
sounds like 70s. Yeah, it's gotta be 70s because I
Yeah.
don't remember anything from the 80s.
Yeah, Jack.
I was alive in the 80s. I mean, I was alive. Like I knew what was going on. I remember the 80s.
Jive
I remember
Turkey.
what was going on. That's it. That's all. You got to lingo down. Now you just gotta try not to get busted in the head by some white man walking down the street.
Yeah. Hey, what's happening? Ben,
So-
what's happening, man? What's going down?
Shit, I say that now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I use that slang.
Look at that foxy mama over there. Hey, darling.
Oh, you can't call him. You about to get canceled. Oh no, not back then. And that's what they see. That's what they talking about. Like back when you could grab a woman by her ass and not get in trouble.
Who said
Like back
that?
when that's what they be thinking. That's how they think.
Oh.
You know, like
Nah.
back when you could say anything you wanted to
Nah.
and ain't lose your job. Like back when
Oh, no.
I'm like, back when everybody wasn't so sensitive, when you could be racist out in the open and not get worried about being fired. Like that shit that boggles my mind when people say that kind of stuff. And that's what it is though. That's what it is.
Mm.
Like just being able to be a trash ass human.
That puts some context to it.
Yeah. Like I just basically when I hear people say that, I'm like, I want to be a trash human and be all right, like and be the norm. Like I just want to be a trash ass human and do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Mm.
Don't care who I hurt or who I offend, and tough. You know?
Nah, I don't want because that could mean a lot of things. Like
It could mean a lot of things. And they mean all of it.
Yeah.
Like and a lot of times they mean all of it.
Yeah.
Like the sexist, the racism, all that stuff, like they mean it all.
Yeah.
Like they just all right. It's like when people are like, well, why? I've been doing this for years. Like, why is it changing now? Why is the name changing? Like the football teams. Why did his name change? Like just because you've been doing something for years, don't make it right.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I try to tell my dad that. Just because you've been doing something for years, don't make it right. It's just not racial.
Mm.
Like it's just people get stuck. I think I've been blessed to understand and change with the times, and just not have a adapt and understand other people's perspective. That's one of the biggest things I think I like about myself. Like I think I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a certain context. Like I'm not saying it's always good, always works, but you know, I can understand a vantage point of a woman and what they're saying and fighting against, and say, "Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right. Like you're right."
What I can say is, I have empathy. Like I feel when something's not right.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Right.
A lot of these people don't have empathy,
Mm.
or they don't care to. But yeah, I mean that's right.
But about Fight Night I was pleasantly surprised with Fight Night.
Yeah,
It's like a lot. Like here's the thing, I had no interest in this. I saw the preview, and I was like,
I had interest because I like the people in it.
But then, Kevin Hart and I'm sorry, I forget his name. The director or the producer. He works with Kevin Hart a lot on his movies. He's
Oh, okay.
he's known I forget his name right now. He did the movie Think Like a Man. I forget his name. They did an interview on The Breakfast Club, and I wanted to watch it because Kevin Hart is a good time, in interviews. So
yeah.
I watched it, and then after it, I felt like I had to see Fight Night.
Yeah.
So I started watching it, and it's like a lot to it. It's deeper than I thought. It's a lot to it. It's good.
That's the other
really
thing.
good.
Like, I don't know, I didn't know what it was about or what it was going to be about. I haven't seen any previews. I haven't watched anything. I just want to see it off the picture. When I cruise by it, when I was going by it,
Okay.
I just see the picture and I'm like, I like them people.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of Kevin Hart's not funny people out there.
Yeah.
He's funny to me.
Well, this ain't about him being funny.
And okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
This is a,
and anytime I see his face, I think it's gonna be funny. But that's good that you tell me that.
Yeah,
and I'm all right with that. Like,
not a
I like him in those roles.
He's good in this. He is good in this.
And I mean, I think he's. Well, I like his stand up too, so I'm not gonna say that, but I think he's good in movies.
And this is it's like a long movie. It's a limited series.
Oh, okay.
So,
I like limited series. I didn't know it was a limited series. I love limited series. I think they have more room to tell a story completely, and I think they just have more. Every limited series I've watched just has been good and been great, and I think it's because they don't have to worry about stretching it out seasons and have to worry about, like, they can tell a complete story. Like, if it's gonna be complete, sometimes they come back with another season if it makes a bunch of money. But there's been a lot of limited series that I've watched that I'm like, yeah, that's good. It's done, and I'm good. I don't need another season. Like, even if it felt like it could have been another season.
What's that one he did? True Story, the other one on Netflix.
Yeah, that was a limited series. I forgot about that.
But the producer's name is Will Packer.
Oh yeah, Will Packer.
And I could say, like, I don't know all of his, like, filmography, but I haven't seen anything like this from him. The stuff I've seen before is like comedic and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's really good. Yeah. And I like how they doing it. Like, they released 3 episodes from the jump, and then now it's like 1 a week every Thursday, until it's done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How many episodes altogether,
Maybe 10.
Oh, okay. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Let me
most stuff is 10 nowadays, 10 or 8. Which I don't know how I feel about that. But as a limited series, that's like a long ass movie. So
yeah. And it's good. I just watched I called myself. I said, you know what I want to do? I want to wait. I want to just let it ride, and I'll catch it when I'm backed up on 3, and it ain't work.
No.
It ain't work because I don't have a lot of other stuff to watch now.
Yeah. See, I got done a lot of stuff, but we still have, like, Unprisoned, which I really like that. Wait, no, did I finish that? I think I finished Unprisoned.
Oh, my bad. It's only 8 episodes.
Oh, 8? Okay. Yeah, that's what I said, 10 or 8. That seems to be the goal, especially limited series, but it seems to be that's what it seems to be for regular series too now.
Oh, let me tell you this.
No. Don't tell me nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, I was just going to tell you, I recognize one of the actors in it.
Zero.
I can't tell you nothing.
0.
It's not it's just like, this person is doing a good job, and I recognize who they were.
0.
All right.
Nah, tell me.
David Banner.
Oh, okay. I did see he was in it.
Okay.
I saw he was in it.
And he's like, he's always been he's a good actor. He can act.
Yeah, I mean, but not, like, he doesn't do it a lot. It don't seem. I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff, but I've seen him in some stuff.
Yeah.
He always seems to do a good job with whatever role he has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it was like, is that it was that type of thing where he's so into the character.
Yeah.
I had to, and there's a couple people I had to do that with in this, like, because there's a dude in.
I did that with Jordan Lucas when in Bad Boys. I mean, I knew it was him right away, but I didn't know he was gonna be in it because I didn't see much promotional or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, Jordan Lucas, he trying to act now, but
that's what's up. Love that he got in there. With, were you thinking from the outside looking in because of his relationship with Will Smith?
Yeah,
he did the song with him.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how it works. 80% is networking.
But
and who you know.
And DJ Khaled, did they both die?
Yeah, he did. But DJ Khaled was in the other one, so he was trying to come back for revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they both was out of here. If y'all ain't seen it by now, hey, sorry. Sorry. They weren't main characters anyway. You knew they was gonna die. You watch any other stuff?
No, not really.
I started back watching Power. That came back on.
Okay.
With Tariq.
Oh, okay.
It's my shit. But yeah, I think this is the last season. So, and I think it's about time. It's about time for that to be out of here. Somebody posed a question: original Power or Snowfall, and I'm like, Snowfall, all the way. Snowfall. For one, Snowfall is more realistic to me. But I mean, Power is realistic in the beginning. It was realistic. I mean, I've known some people in the street that were like that. But yeah, Snowfall for me.
Mm-hmm. I never seen Power.
Oh, you never watched Power?
Well, so I don't know if I should say this.
Oh Jesus!
But I was in a relationship at the time,
mm-hmm.
and the person I was with was very, I don't know, jealous or in a certain way. So we sitting there watching.
So y'all was watching it and
we was watching Power. The first episode,
naked, some sex going on.
Some naked women.
Because that's all that is. Every episode, like
she got up and madly walked in the other room, and I was like,
"Damn!" Off of a show.
Yeah.
See,
so
they them young girls.
So I couldn't watch
them alone.
Well, she was in her 30s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's damn. Yeah, that's wild. Over a TV show?
Yeah. I mean, I think she has some insecurities about herself. So.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. Definitely. If you get mad at a TV show, somebody you ain't gonna, it's not even like she caught you watching porn or something. Like, it's just on the show. Like, I ain't tell them to do that. Like, I ain't tell them to get naked. Like, what you want me to do? Be over here like this? Is it over yet?
I had an interesting experience. I don't know.
Jesus Christ. I don't think we want to hear about that. Nah.
No, but so I had an interesting experience. So on the I tried to be like not insecure, right? So I called myself renting Chocolate City for her. Like, so we watching Chocolate City together. But I'm averting my eyes every time a male stripper comes on the screen and starts stripping. You know what I mean? So we did that, and she said she felt like she said she felt, what did she say? She felt like she was going to hell or something, like when she was watching this.
Oh Jesus.
She felt,
so she was kind of was she religious or something?
No, she just cause here's the thing, like, and her mom and her go to mail they go to certain things, mail reviews and stuff like that.
Well, damn.
So she felt
shit be getting wild at them bitches, like watching the shit. I don't know why she say that.
She was like, she just felt I don't know. I think she enjoyed it, but maybe she was trying not to, or she wasn't comfortable, like, or maybe she wasn't trying to express like that around me.
That's Okay, I understand now. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Her insecurities was rubbing off, and she didn't want to. She probably projected that you would have the same insecurities, so she was trying not to, trying not to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she felt like she has those insecurities. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Yeah.
Ben, you probably never did nothing like that, right? Where I'm gonna rent this for you. You watch this, and then I'm gonna try to no, but then I'm watching it and I'm like, nope. I'm watching it. It was a uncomfortable experience.
Yeah.
Because Michael John White was in it, but he wasn't one of the dancers. Then there was the lead kid. There was a story to it. He was in school and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of good. The actors were good. But when they went there with it, it's like, looking away.
This is hilarious.
Oh, man. Well, I never seen, what's that with Mike? What's it, Mike?
Oh, Magic Mike.
Yeah, I never seen that.
Yeah, I never seen that either. That is funny.
So fellas out there, would you watch Chocolate City with your lady so your lady can have some fun,
Oh, I would.
Okay.
Like I would watch it.
Would you be like, would you look away like
I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Like stuff like that. Like even on Power, there's a lot of gay scenes. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it doesn't bother me. Like I think they tamed it down because they was like getting it in at one point, and I think people was complaining.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think people, because one of the dudes, Mary J. Blige's son, is gay.
Okay.
He was hiding it for a while, but yeah, Drew, he's messing with one of the
okay.
on the new one, not Power. No, my bad. On what is it? I don't even know what it's called. Power 2, I think.
Okay.
I think it's called Power Book 2.
Okay.
I always say Tariq. I always be like Power Tariq.
Yeah.
So people know what they're going, what I'm talking about.
You ever seen P Valley?
No, I ain't watched P Valley. I might be all right with that though.
Oh,
but
I think they showed a dick on P Valley.
Yeah, they showed dicks. They showed dicks on Power.
Oh, okay.
Like, but I mean, the boys got crazy shit. They be showing dicks. They be having wilding. They be wilding. Like, dude.
But you know who kicked it off?
Who?
Jesse
Smollett
on Empire. He kicked it off.
Yeah, I never watched Empire.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I never seen it before. I just didn't. I don't like Terrence Howard. Well, I ain't gonna say I don't like him.
I think you did a great job on that show.
I mean, he might have.
I didn't keep up with it at a certain point, but
not that I don't like him. Yeah. I'm not gonna say I don't like him because he's been in stuff. Yeah, he's been in stuff that I like.
Yeah.
Like Hustle and Flow.
He's in Fight Night.
Oh, is he? Yeah. I did see it. Yeah, and then when I saw him on there, I didn't have like I ain't watching this. I just never. I don't know. Maybe it was his character on there. I don't know.
Empire.
Yeah,
he was good.
Something turned me off.
Okay.
For one, I don't like watching network shows that much. For some reason, it's a block because I've watched network shows that are good, but sometimes they just don't have the budget that like cable shows like Netflix and HBO and all those shows. So it just doesn't look right to me. So I just don't watch a lot of network shows. And it kind of turns me off when there's a network show. But like I said, I watched network shows that were good, and I'm thinking, why didn't I watch this sooner or before? Probably because they were on network.
But yeah, Jesse
Smollett.
Smollett. Like, I feel like
Jesse.
Like, I used to watch that show, and I'm like, he seems to be the star of the show. Like, he's singing, he's dancing, he's in a lot of scenes. Like,
that's probably why he did that bullshit.
I didn't
trying to get some fame back.
So
probably got used to it.
So, but he was on his way. I felt like he was on his way. So I felt like he didn't need to do anything like fabricated to get more limelight. I felt like he was on his way. Like, he had an album coming out. He was on tour. I remember he was going around on tour, and I was paying attention. and he had a fire song with Swiss Beats on his album called Staycation.
Mm.
And
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah, who knows what goes through people's minds?
He can really sing. He can really act. Like, it just seemed like it was up from there for him.
Yeah. I thought so,
but
and I didn't even watch it. Like, I just seen him everywhere. Like, I was seeing, you know, I was seeing it because, of course, a lot of people watch it. My girl watch it. So
you never know what people think though. Be thinking, because I remember watching. We was talking about. I was telling you about Michaela J or MJ Rodriguez.
Yeah,
and she, you know, with this great role on Pose, right? And I saw her in an interview after that, and I'm like, she was like, she thought she never was going to work after that again.
Mm.
I was like, wow, really?
Yeah, because you don't know. For one, you don't know the inner workings of the business, like whatever business they're doing at the time. Like, you don't know the inner workings of their business. I mean, not just the movie business, but for the show business. But also, like, sometimes you when you're in it, you don't know, you know?
Yeah.
Like you can think in your life, like, when you're in it, you're not knowing the significance of this thing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happens sometimes. And also, I think people also do stuff. I look at, like, Donald Glover. Like, that's how his mom was when he left 30 Rock. Like, his mom was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I'm an artist. Like, I want to do other shit. I want to do this. I want to do this. And you see where he at now.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a correct decision for him to do.
Yeah.
Or he'd probably be stuck. I was trying to tell my dad that because my dad was mad at, he watches, like, them doctor shows and like Castle and stuff like that on the side networks. I don't know what networks they're on. It might be on Lifetime or maybe they're on TNT. I'm not sure. But he watches, like, those shows, and he's always talking about one of the actors on there, been on there for like 20 years, and he's leaving. And I'm like, because he's been on there for 20 years. He's probably like, listen, can I do something else?
Yeah.
Like, I want to do something else. And he's like, man, that's a check. Like, why you gonna leave? You know, that old school shit. And I said, people aren't fulfilled. Like, people don't care about that. He probably got enough money anyway.
True, but
like, if you're not fulfilled.
Yeah. True, but it don't.
He might not been fulfilled. He might have felt like he wasn't
that's
fulfilled,
true.
you know. And whatever in his mind conjured up to do something for publicity, I don't know. You know, I still don't know. I still don't know what.
Like Jussie?
Yeah, I still don't know. I'm just saying, like, I'm using everybody's.
He didn't need. He
But that's your perspective. You felt like he didn't.
He did,
and maybe he didn't, but he didn't feel like that.
Like
obviously, you felt like
you never
go back
know.
to your free will.
You never know what somebody's going through.
Yeah, like, you don't know what he was thinking. I need some fame. I need to be an activist or whatever. Like, whatever he was thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's wild though.
And it's like,
now I always be thinking about him when I see his sister, and she's a great actor.
Oh yeah. But it's like that's bypass. Let's not talk about how great a singer he is, how good an actor he is. Like, it's not talk.
It's not that now.
Yeah,
it's not that now. And that's, in hindsight, I'm sure he looking back like, damn. Not only for all the legal troubles that caused, but for all of this. That's all people talk about.
If I'm correct,
talk about him.
He never copped to it. He never said.
No?
Yeah, I don't think he ever said.
Yeah, I stopped following the story.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't follow anyway, but it was hard to get away from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know the intricacies of it. Yeah, that's wild. That whole thing was crazy. Like, that whole thing, the memes that came out of that shit was nuts too. Meme Nation.
Yeah, I remember, like, him and V Bozeman. I mean, that one song I used to sing from Empire that she did on Empire. Like, I used to sing that to kind of fit like the trying to be better at singing. What is Love? I think it's called.
Yeah, I don't think I know that.
But you ain't
Or
seen
remember it. Nah,
but it's like, I guess it's from the show. It's on the show soundtrack, so probably more of, if you've seen the show, you would know it probably.
Yeah. But I've heard some music from the show, like that I've listened to.
At a certain point, I fell off, and maybe I thought like, okay, maybe why MJ Rodriguez was saying that she thought she wouldn't work after that, and maybe why Jussie might have thought he needed some sort of boost is because they're in the LGBTQIA plus community.
Man, that's a lot of letters.
I had to get it right. But yeah, so maybe that's why she thought that, because she's trans. And
well, yeah, I can understand her.
Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of
less
gay
than
actors
him.
working,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's a newer thing for trans actors and actresses. Yeah, like I might understand why she was maybe thinking like that in her head. Like, even if it wasn't true.
Yeah.
Like, everything you see, everything you hear, and the negative shit that's out there. Like, I could understand why she might felt like that. But not him. Like, I don't know, because even in that space, I think gay men are more, prominent than anything else. But no, I rewatched a show that I watched a long time ago, The Misfits. You ever watch The Misfits? It's a British show.
Probably not.
Yeah. I think it's on Prime or Amazon. Well, that's the same thing. I'm not sure. Is it on Amazon? I can't remember where I watched. Yeah. Yeah, I did watch it on there. Yeah, that's a good ass show. Like, that show was so good, and all the actors on there except for one actor's in one of the actors on that show is in a new show. The Umbrella Academy. One of the actors from Misfits. But I don't see too many other people that's in there in anything. Maybe they're in British stuff. I don't know. But it really was, it seemed like a low budget show because it's about superheroes. Like, it's a group of teens that got probation and they had to clean up. They were on the cleanup duty and a storm happened and gives a bunch of people powers in the whole world. But they're just happen to be together. And it gives them powers, and the powers are kind of how they were feeling at the time. So, like, the one dude is really strong and aggressive because he was angry when he's like a bad guy. I think it was the probation officer. He was like super strong and he was angry all the time. So he was like a bad guy. One of the dudes was able to become invisible. So he already felt invisible. So so it was like that. The one girl, she was really promiscuous, and anybody that touched her, like, wanted her. Like so her skin, like, but she could use, like, later on in the show, she figured out how to use it, like, as a superpower. But in the beginning, she's like, I don't want this shit. Like, everybody just wanted her. And even the people she liked, like, she couldn't tell who liked her for her as soon as they touched her. And the one dude was a track star. He could run fast. Like, he got the power to run. And what's the other dude? I forget what I think the other dude could teleport. But later on, their powers evolved to, like, other stuff. They could do other stuff, and then they got together with, like, other people. But I think the shows is the greatness of the show was the actual chemistry of the actors. Even when they changed, they changed the actor after the first season, which I was pissed off because I liked that actor and he was like one of the best ones. But even the new actor was good, and he grew on me later. But I just thought about that show and I'm like, yo, this show was really good, and it wasn't high budget because some of the special effects, some of the stuff, Like you could tell it didn't look, it wasn't anywhere near a movie or anything. Even a TV show. But I think the chemistry of the actors and the story and the writing is what drew me in. And I watched that whole series. It was like 5 seasons, and I watched the whole thing. Like, I was watching back to back. Within a week and a half, maybe, I watched the whole thing. I had time. And maybe it's longer than a week and a half, but it wasn't that long that I watched the whole series. So yeah, check that out. They were supposed to bring it to America and make a updated version, like they talked about like last year. I don't know if it ever was. I don't even know if it'll be good if they do. It might be because The Office is. Look at The Office. The Office is the only show that I know that they've updated. I know there's other shows that they've done that with, from overseas or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember when what was it? The Death at a Funeral.
Yeah,
I remember it was like there was a movie overseas that came out the year before, and then the year after they made the American version.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that were shows, overseas or whatever.
It was good. I think. I mean, honestly, I think I actually like the original. Even though I love like Martin and Chris Rock and all of them, Kevin Hart, but the original, I think I like better.
Yeah, I've never seen the original.
But to get back to when we were talking about, you said people leaving the show. It's like, yeah, that worked out for Donald Glover, but it's risky because
some people it don't work out for.
Yeah. Like me, I didn't want House to end, but I don't know if the lead actor, I forget his name now.
Yeah, I don't know his name either. I've seen him in something not too long ago.
I don't know if he wanted to move on, but like, yeah, in the way, and you can tell when they trying to end the show.
Yeah,
they just write crazy stuff that would never happen.
Yeah, they start. That's what I hate. I hate when that happens. Like, that's why I'm kind of glad when shows end kind of early, when you feel like it's early, like maybe 3 seasons or whatever, because I'd rather a show end when it's up than it dragging on and you're like, oh, damn. And you're still watching it because of something. Like, sometimes I don't even know why I'm still watching the show. And sometimes it gets better, but a lot of times it doesn't. And I'm just watching it out of habit because I watched it and I got to see how it ends. But they just wilding out and doing stupid shit because they just drug it on so long, or they want to end it and they're trying to end it.
But see, we're talking about probably 2 different kinds of shows too. Well, it
just depends.
Because they have network shows. It's kind of it's like a different formula, kind of, right?
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, there is a different formula because a lot of times network shows run for a long time.
Yeah, which seems, it's like, it seems exhausting thinking about 20-something episodes a season now in this, where we have like 8 or 10 episodes.
It's the world we're in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's exhausting. I want it.
Okay.
But most people don't. They don't have attention span. So
I do be feeling like
if it's good.
I do feel like the way the streaming series are sometimes, like, it seems short.
Yeah.
Like
I think a lot of them are short.
Yeah. I just watched Bel Air. It was 10 episodes and it was good, but it was like,
yeah, I could have had some more.
Yeah.
But again, I think that goes to like them writing. They probably got the whole thing written. You know what I mean? They probably, or most of it. They might have to tweak it or do whatever, but I think that saves them having like 10 episodes. Because if they had 20, that's like 2 seasons in 1 season. So say they had 20 episodes, now they got to write 20 more. And 20 more, depending on how many seasons it is. So I think they shorten it down because they see the formula. I think they like HBO, Showtime, they started the, I mean, I say HBO because Not they started the formula, but not the not what it is now. But I think just over time they just kept trying stuff and they think this is what works, so the seasons don't get drawn out and boring because it's just less episodes.
But there's one that has lasted 20-something years, and Mariska Hargitay has been on there 20-something years.
What's that?
Law and Order SVU.
Oh yeah. Law and Order is what I was talking. I think I was talking about Law and Order.
Okay.
When I was talking about somebody leaving after 20 years.
Oh, okay.
It might have been her.
She didn't wait.
Or she wants to. Or
really?
It might have been because my dad was talking about
recently.
Yeah, my dad was like, he's always talking about it. I can't remember. That's a shame. I can't remember what it was, but he's always talking about the main girl trying to leave, and he's like, why she want to leave? Because he said it might not be Law and Order, it might be some of them other ones, or it might be Law and Order, a different one. But she said she don't get along with one of the other actors and hasn't. Like since they done the show, like 20 years. So she's just fed up right now, and like I'm done. I don't know if it's her though. I'm not saying it's her because I just don't know.
Her and Ice-T tight.
Well, no, yeah, I don't think it's that, because if that's the one with Ice-T, I don't think that's the one he's talking about. Might be a different one.
Your twin.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Your uncle.
My uncle.
I don't know if I can imagine that show without her. And then I didn't want Chris, what's his name? Is it Chris Elliott? I didn't want the guy to play Stabler to leave. Let me get his name right. I didn't want him to leave, but he left. But he left because of things weren't right for him, like maybe money wise or.
Oh yeah.
So I can't be mad at him.
Yeah, I see people.
But Maloney, I think it was Christopher Maloney. I like him too as an actor. He did some different stuff that was totally different from Stabler. Well,
at least he's doing something. At least he's working.
He had this one, I forget. I want to watch it. He had this one show he was on where there was this like it was live action, but it was a cartoon character right there. Like, I don't know if he was on something, but he had a cartoon character talking to him. It was wild. Like,
oh, I think I watched that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Didn't he have a brain injury or something?
I think that's what it was.
And he got hit by a car or something happened in this cartoon stuff. Yeah, I watched that. What the fuck happened to that show? I think that fell off my radar. I did watch that show.
An injured hitman befriends his kidnapped daughter's imaginary friend.
Yeah.
A perky blue flying unicorn.
How many episodes was that? How many seasons was that?
Let's see.
I feel like I watched that show for
2 seasons, it looks like.
Yeah, I think I fell off. I might have to go back and watch the second season. I think I watched the whole first season or most of the first season, and then sometimes I'll be forgetting about shows, even when they're good, because it's just so many. And for a while there, when I wasn't doing like all the video stuff, the YouTube and all that, I was watching everything. Like everything that came out, we was watching or trying to watch. Like mad stuff. But then I got busy, like where I couldn't watch all that shit. And I just sometimes now I just forget about stuff. Like I'll start watching something and then something else will come up, or I start watching something that my girl don't watch, so I'm just watching alone. So then when there's stuff that we watch, that takes priority in my book. So because I'd rather spend time with her watching the show. So I watch that, and then I'll just forget about the stuff that I've been watching. Like that show. I remember watching that show. I remember thinking it was funny. Damn, that's crazy that you brought that up, because I forgot all about this shit. I forgot all about this show, and I watched almost the whole season, I'm sure.
Yeah, that seems like a fun show.
Yeah, that's some stuff you watch when you're just chilling and having fun.
When you take a couple of them edibles.
When you take some edibles and just be wilding.
But then, and I'm not trying to speak negatively on anyone's career, right? But I didn't like Dexter could have went on forever. Like the first original season, he was a big star off of that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And another thing, like another case of like them rushing to end it. You could tell that last episode they rushed that. It was bad. Like the writing.
Yeah, I don't think it was bad, but it was all right to me. It was all right, but it wasn't.
Of that first,
yeah, it was all right to me. But I mean, I didn't think it was bad.
You could tell it was rushed.
Yeah, the writing was rushed. Just like Game of Thrones. I mean, and Game of Thrones wasn't trying to end it. Like they were ending it. Like it was planned ending, but it was just wasn't executed well. I think sometimes it's hard to end the show. It is hard to end the show, but it gets difficult to get to that point. And also, to give writers the credit, a lot of shows people are never going to be happy with the ending when it ends. I don't see a whole bunch of shows that people are happy with the last episode. Even shows that I thought was great. Like I see people saying Breaking Bad was bad, the ending. And I think that was perfect. Like I think Breaking Bad was a perfect show.
Yeah.
For from beginning to end. And the last episode was perfect. And then even the follow-ups, even the spinoffs that they have are perfect. All the way to the end. But I see people say that it's bad.
No, definitely not Breaking Bad.
But I think some people also talking about, getting back to people leaving shows and wanting to do other stuff. I think some people just stop acting too. Like everybody's not getting work. Some people just don't want work. Like they're just done. Okay. They're just like, oh, I'm done. It's a couple people. I think dude from Dexter was like that. I don't think he was, even though I've seen him in a couple other things, but I think he was like, I remember seeing him saying something like that in an interview. Like, I'm cool. Like he made a lot of money. Some people make enough money and they're like, hey, now I can go do whatever the fuck I want to do. I'm good with what I got. And then when the money starts drawing up, that's when they work again.
There's been two reiterations of Dexter, right?
Yeah, and a new one's coming out soon.
Yeah. I still didn't watch the whole, what's it, New Blood?
Yeah, I watched that.
I didn't watch the whole.
That was good. I like that. I can't remember though. That's the other thing. That's how I know it's too much for me. Because I can't hardly remember the shows, like how they end. I gotta go back and rewatch them or get the highlights and then be like, oh, okay, because I watch too much shit. It's too much shit out here. It's too much in the.
Oh, I could think of an ending that was people talked about, but it was good though. Snowfall.
Oh yeah. Snowfall was good,
and then that's one of the.
And
shows,
it was realistic.
Yeah,
like it was realistic. I know people like that. Like I know people. That's what it bugged me out because I know people that fall off that hard after being in the game and having all that, and then you get popped.
I didn't want. It was so good. It's like one of the things you don't want to end because it's so good.
Yeah. It had to end. Yeah, it has an ending. And it has a like the whole last season. I was like, actually, the season before the last season, I'm like, yo, I don't know how long this can go on. If it's going to stay realistic.
Right, yeah.
Like, you can go on forever if you're going to be unrealistic and just be, never get caught, always selling drugs all your life. Yeah, you a superhero. That's basically what it is. Yeah. Because there ain't too many drug dealers that are deep in the game like that made it out alive or out of jail or, chilling. I mean, there's a few that's chilling, but you're not gonna be in the game like all your life and be okay. It's just not. The law of averages just ain't gonna work out for you. So,
I want Damson Idris to continue being successful and I want to continue seeing his acting, brilliance.
There's a campaign for him to be the new Black Panther.
Yeah.
And I'm all right with that.
Yeah. I mean, I seen a picture and I can see it. Like,
yeah, I'm all right with that because it's going to be, everybody's up in arms. They're like, why don't they recast T'Challa?
Yeah, but how they going to have it now because they killed.
No, but there's going to be T'Challa. It's his son. It's going to be his son.
Yeah, but that takes place, like, his son got to grow up.
Yeah, he's going to be grown. Like, the next, next movie probably.
Wait, so they're going to make the other characters old? Like, they're going to fast forward
it's
in
been,
time?
you know how long it's been? Like, it's been,
the other movie just happened. The second one maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah,
so he ain't
2 years ago.
He ain't gonna grow up that fast.
Well, I mean, they jumped 5 years in the other movie, so is the timeline. The way the timeline is weird.
But then,
they could do it like because the new movie ain't gonna come out for another 5 years or so, probably.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna be a grown man. Like,
no, he will.
He was like,
I mean, he's gonna be his age. Like, they're not doing it. It ain't like it's 5 years. Like, when the new movie comes out, it's not gonna be 5 years later.
But then that makes the other cast members older, and then they're part of the Marvel universe. So doesn't that also fast forward the time? And if
they will be older, they're not gonna be around too much longer. I mean, all the legacies are done. Besides, RDJ coming back to play Dr. Doom, but that's not even RDJ. That's not Tony Stark. So yeah, like all those are done. Like Thor, all them, they may have cameos, but they're not coming. It's gonna be the Young Avengers, and you know how fast kids grow. So by the time they come out, like Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, who else gonna be on the Young Avengers? I don't even know if they showed anybody else. Probably not. I don't know how too many kids. But by the time they get grown, and they'll probably have. I would hope that they have his son on the Young Avengers. That would be dope.
That would make sense then.
And then he, maybe the next movie, he would be grown. Depending on what they do with the timeline, they could set it in a different time, in a forward time. Like it doesn't have to be linear now.
Okay.
One, because of the multiverse, and two, because of the stories not being a super saga together. Like the first 10 years was like every movie was tied together.
Okay.
So
okay,
like they could do a standalone, sort of standalone. It wouldn't be standalone, but the time period could be standalone, just like they're doing with the Fantastic Four and the X-Men.
Yeah, I can see that. And
but they said the new X-Men ain't gonna have Wolverine in it. I know a lot of people are mad about that, but Kevin Feige said because Hugh Jackman's playing Wolverine, and I guess this is maybe a newer, not origin story, but a newer story. I mean, Wolverine wasn't on the team for years until later. Anyway, I'm all right with it, even though Wolverine's my favorite character. I'm okay with that because I know how the story goes, and I think it would be very interesting. I think it would be more interesting without him, because there's a lot of emphasis on him all the time.
Okay.
When he's on screen. Just like X-Men 97. Like there was less Wolverine in X-Men 97. And I think it was better for it. Because he's one of the most popular characters, period. And everybody knows him. So But I think it was a continuity thing. Like Kevin Feige didn't want Hugh Jackman to play it in the new X-Men movie because of the ages, I guess, maybe. So, and if he's gonna be Wolverine later. I really think what Deadpool said, like, you'll be Wolverine till you're 90, like you're 70 or whatever. Like, that's crazy because he's old, but he's still in shape. So, whatever. He's older. Let me put it that way. But he probably outrun my ass. So I ain't talking about his age. Listen, probably bench press more than me too.
It's surprising to me, like seeing. I guess at the end of Deadpool and Wolverine, seeing them older clips where he looked so much younger in the role.
Oh, yeah. He's been playing it.
Not that he looks bad, but it just...
He definitely looks younger. And he was smaller. He wasn't as cut.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, yeah. But that's what happens when you get older. You got to lift more weights. If you want to keep your muscle, you got to get muscle. Plus, he's in movies and stuff. That what is this?
Yeah, I do want to see that Damson Idris as Black Panther. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. They threw around a few people. Actually, all the people I saw that they threw around I was fine with.
Like who else?
I forget his name. I hate describing people, but it's the dark-skinned dude that was in The Purge. I think the last Purge.
Okay.
I think it's the first Purge when they was in the projects.
Oh, him.
This dude.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
he's in White Men Can't Jump. He's also in Fight Night.
Oh, okay. Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I like him as an actor.
This ain't who I was thinking.
Joanne Knoll. Yeah, they threw him out there.
No, that's not the same dude.
That's not the same dude?
No.
Jesus Christ. All black people look alike. It's like, nah. That's funny.
But they said him. Okay.
Yeah, him. They threw him out there. It was a few other people that I can't remember their names.
I can see it.
But I've seen them in stuff, and I'm like, okay, I just want a good actor. And that I know people are putting people out there that are like built, but he doesn't need to be built. Like, he needs to be in shape.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to be big because he has powers. Like, that doesn't, your muscle fibers, look at Spider-Man. Like, your muscle fibers don't, when you have superhuman strength, it doesn't matter.
What's the actor's name? I'm sorry, I should know this. Who played Black Panther?
Oh, Chadwick Boseman?
Yeah, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't built. Yeah. He was perfect. Yeah. He was perfect for the role. Because he was he was on the leaner side, but he still was cut. He was in shape. Because he's still working out and eating right in Wakanda.
I saw old footage of him like doing some acting in the acting school or something, and he was big in the.
He might have got smaller for that role. Who knows? Because I can't remember what I saw him before that. I think I saw him in something before that, but I can't remember what. Yeah, Chadwick, R.I.P. I heard a new song by Dave.
Okay.
Well, I don't think it was new.
Mm-hmm.
It had like 155 million views. And,
oh, wow.
And I've never heard it before, but I think it was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty dope. I still can't find his albums here. Like, I look for them. They're on streaming, but I want to download them.
Okay.
Like I said, I'll pay for them. Like, I'm not trying to steal them.
So he's good.
Oh, Dave?
Oh, never mind.
Dave, British Dave.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about
Dave.
Lil Dicky.
Not Lil Dicky. Nah, Lil Dicky's dope.
Okay.
Yeah, Lil Dicky's dope. You ever heard any of his music?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
I ain't seen you have freestyle when he was on the radio? Maybe not.
Not that I recall.
Oh, okay. I'm going to send you some stuff.
Lil Dicky?
Yeah, Lil Dicky's dope. I do like him too. But nah, Dave Santan. I think his name is Dave Santan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he goes by.
Okay.
But I just be like Dave. because it's one of the most normal names in rap I've ever heard. Like besides Lil Dicky, but he don't go by, he goes by Lil Dicky. So, but yeah, just Dave. And I think he went by just Dave when he first came out. But I know his newest album I can't find, and I don't think it's that new. It's like 2-3 years old or 2 years old. I don't know, but yeah, I watched that. I mean, I listened to that song. What other music have I heard? Nas King's Disease 2. It's like, nah. I still listen to that. And all the King's Disease I still listen to.
But Fat Joe has been coming with it.
Oh, yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah,
you sent me that video.
Out of Control.
Yeah, that was
video and song.
Yeah, that song was dope.
Yeah,
that song was dope.
Yeah. It caught me off guard at
Remy
first.
Ma is killing it too.
Yeah, but yeah, it's good.
Or Remy, I don't know if she still go by Remy Ma.
And then he got another song recently, like came out a day ago. Another video called Paradise with DJ Khaled and another artist. Might be Anita. Or it might be, I don't know if it's said that way, but it's good.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
Song.
Yeah, I ain't hear that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to check that out too. It feels like it was something that came out. Maybe not. Maybe just I've been looking at a lot of videos lately. Music videos.
Okay.
Like old and new.
Okay.
Like I was watching Kid and Play's old video, and I just remember like it. I think it's halfway nostalgia. And halfway, I'm like back into videos because even new videos, I've been watching them a lot. I mean, a whole lot. It's weird, and I watched MTV Raps like the first and second season, which was cool to see all the old videos. What bugs me out is how song structure has changed so much. Like just looking at old videos, like. One video in particular, Ice-T's video. I can't remember what the song was, but the shit had like 7 verses. I swear. I'm watching this video and the hook is in between every verse. Now the verse might be 10 bars. It wasn't 16 bars each verse, but it was like 7 verses. And I'm like, what type of structure is this shit? I didn't remember it.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of Ice-T's music. I did listen to like Color soundtrack, and he was on there a lot in 6 in the Morning, that album. But I don't remember all the songs, but I didn't remember this particular song. I'm like, yo, but he was gone. He was gone though. And I said, yo, I don't remember him spitting like this, but I remember liking him, so he had to be spitting a little bit. But man, and I saw documentary on Ice-T. That was dope. Like how he just came up. No, it wasn't documentary. It's the series on, I think, on HBO or Showtime. Where they do the whole series, the whole rappers. Like different. It's different. Well, musicians. It's a lot of rappers on there, but they go through their whole life and how they started their career and all that until now. I forget what the series is called. Yeah, that's fucked up. My brain don't work no more. That's what happens when you get old, people.
Speaking of videos, like I was recently listening to a podcast, and they were talking about how traditional R&B is not very popular now.
No,
and like the new hybrid of R&B, like with hip hop influences, is more popular.
That is more popular.
And I was like. And I was thinking to myself, I was thinking to myself, like, I wonder if one reason is, as far as marketing, the way I used to discover like great music and good videos and get interested in artists is videos used to come on TV all the time.
Yeah.
And so you'll see it, and they would replay, so
there's no video shows.
Yeah.
And there's no specific genre video shows no more. Like you had Video Soul, it was just R&B. You had, MTV Raps, of course, and BET, Rap City. you had shows geared towards particular genres, and you don't have that no more. And all you could get is what's on the radio and what you discover yourself, and what's on social media. And that's it. That's it. So I think what you're saying is 100% the reason why it's not popular. And it's not popular because it's not popular. Like that is weird. It's like chicken and the egg, which came first, but that's what it is now. It's not popular, so it's not popular. Like people don't get to hear it unless they seek it out. Even, and I was saying this the other day. It's funny you brought that up because I said that shit the other day. It's even hard for me to listen to some R&B now that has the real R&B formula. Because I had examined like Marsha Ambrose's album, and it has a lot of hip hop influences, and I think that's why I like it so much. Like, and so I can understand. Like I try to listen to Luther, and I'm like, yo, like I can't really listen to this. I know it's good. I've liked it in the past. I've listened to it in the past. I try to listen to even some of Mary J. Blige songs, and I was feeling kind of bored. And I'm like, yo, this is how your paradigm gets shifted. Like this is it doesn't always happen on purpose, and it doesn't always happen because you want it to. You get sucked in. Even with my attention span, I think that's what it is. Like how stuff is nowadays. Like I've never had a short attention span. I've been okay, but now watching 3-minute YouTube videos, watching 10-minute YouTube videos, watching how songs are 2 minutes now, like stuff like that is just in my brain now. So when I hear stuff longer, sometimes I can't pay attention that long. Even though it's good, I just find myself drifting. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
You know what's interesting when you say that? It's like forever. Like when I'm listening to a song, I'll be in there. I'll be tuned in on that first verse. And that second verse come, I forget. I'm zoned out. Like I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, that's
I gotta rewind it. Like what they say.
It's the world, man. It's the world. It's affecting. I just feel. I hope these kids can get it together because they just in it. I was saying it the other day, and this might be a good topic to end on. As much as you may disagree with it, I disagree with it. But for kids these days, school got to feel like a stupid ass thing to do. Like school got to feel like, why am I going to school? Why am I learning this shit? Because you have everything you need in your pocket. You know what I mean? Like you can look up why do I need to know this? Like even though in their attention span, like being in school for 8 hours, it's got to be like the dumbest shit. That's why kids act the way they do. And like I said, you don't have to agree with it. I don't agree with it. Like I think it's important and I think it's still needed. But you got to put yourself in issues, as I was talking about before, like seeing it from other people's perspective. Like it's got to be like the dumbest ass school. Got to be the dumbest ass shit for kids to go to. Like I gotta sit in this. I gotta be here for 8 hours straight and learn shit that I can look up on my phone whenever I need it. Like if I need to know something, look it up. There we go. Here it is. This is what I need to know right now at this moment. I don't need to know it any other time. And that's got to be how they're looking at shit, like subject matter. That's how we looked at it. Like, well, I need to know this, but we wasn't ingratiated with the knowledge, being able to look it up. So, we learned it and was like, okay, we might need it one day. But now kids gotta feel like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why? And their brains ain't right. Their brains don't have enough attention because of everything else. Like, it's crazy. I just thought about that one day and was like, man, it's gotta be insane.
School, like, I wonder if school could be more effective. Maybe that I see like some people go to performing arts schools and then you see them become successful. Maybe if things are tailored more to each student and you know,
It's all about the money, though. Like, a lot of districts don't have money to do that, so that's why they have what they have. That's why you see that when kids go to specific schools for specific things at that age. Like, that's a great thing to be able to do that. Yeah, my goddaughter goes to an art school in Atlanta, and yeah, like, that's a wonderful thing. She's a great dancer. I'm sure great at a lot of arts. And you get that focus on your talent, and you get like more. But it is what it is. I mean, I hate that saying, but it is what it is, because it's money. But I do think they can change the curriculum. I don't know. I think people are stuck. People get stuck sometimes. Not all the time, but I just think they can. The curriculum should change. Like, there are stuff like you was talking about Tupac singing, and that's real, and that was a long time ago, but it's real. He's like, "Why are you doing this?" And even though he said gym, I don't think they should take gym out. I do think they need physical activity,
right?
And they should have more of it.
Yeah,
I think they're cutting down on that, actually. But I understand the point he was making, because he's like, yeah, you run, you know, you don't know how to do your taxes. You don't learn how to do, you don't learn how to do this. You don't learn how to do real world stuff until you get to college, really. If you go to college. That's the thing. Like, not everybody's going to college to get that specific track or those life skills that you need.
I think there should be a class or several classes on relationships. Like,
yeah, that too. Inner relationships with people, relationships with romantic relationships, period. Like, just interpersonal. I think they feel like that stuff will take care of themselves from being social at school, but it doesn't. You see what happens, bullying and all this other shit that happens. It don't. I mean, it happens a little bit naturally, but yeah, I think you would cut down on a lot of therapy bills.
And now that I think about it, gym was every other day. It should be like every day.
Yeah, it should be every day and longer. Physical activity. These kids be, and the thing is, you go from a lot of physical activity because you have like recess and all that stuff, and then you go to a structure when you get older, like middle school maybe. When they stop, yeah, middle school probably, and then it just gets condensed. Like, then you're on a structured. You're doing this. You're doing the sit-ups and the pull-ups and the, that test, the fitness tests every year and all that. That was crazy. We're gonna run the mile. See how long you can run a mile. But you should have been running all along. Like, why are we just going one day? Tomorrow you run the mile. Like, bitch, I can't run. I ain't ran in a year. Yeah, that's. I don't know why I was thinking about that, but it's true though. Well, we was talking about attention spans and stuff like that. I just think all that goes together with the way of the world. Some stuff, I say that to say this, some stuff is not keeping up. Like, stuff like that, they're just being traditional. I'm sure there's schools out there that are keeping up, and then there's art school, like we talked about. But there's a lot of stuff that just is not keeping up with what's going on with the times. And I say that with voting. We should be able to vote on our phone. And you should have some type of, you already got the fingerprint. You should have fingerprint, do the real ID. Like, there's all types of, I do it with paying my taxes. And that's about as important as you can get, because they'll put you in jail.
I think I did hear though at our old high school that it's more tailored to each individual student now, what path they're headed down. And
is it?
Far as
that's good. Yeah. I actually think our high school wasn't bad. I understand, we get a bad rap. I know there was violence and stuff like that, and it's just a lot of poverty in that area. But
that's not.
I think our kids, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think we I know I did. Like, I felt like I got a good education. I felt like the teachers cared. A lot of them. Some of them didn't. You know, I know a few, but most of them did. I'm friends with them on Facebook now. Hey, a lot of them cared. A lot of them did what they were supposed to do. They only had. The thing is, teachers have limitations with budgets and stuff. They can only do what they can do. So I think that goes a long way, though, when you really care about the students. I think it's harder these days because of everything. But I think we had a lot of opportunities. We had like home ec. We had classes like that. We had stuff going on, even though we didn't have a lot of money. So I don't feel like it was a bad education. I got a bad education at Burstyn.
Yeah, I remember good. Well, it's funny. Me specifically, I used to feel like I hated school. Like I hated just like.
I think everybody goes through that. Most people. Some people just love it. But
yeah, but I mean, like, I think for me it was like a social thing, and I think that's where I had succumbed to like, just like, how do I say, peer pressure or the pressures of like the social aspect of school.
Yeah.
Where as I was a great student at first, but then like I started falling off because of like I don't know. I remember I had a phase where I think I was trying to be cool.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know.
I think we all had them phases.
So
mine lasted a long time, but but no, I feel you because I did the same thing. But I think from the beginning I was always I was a good student up until like 4th grade, and then it just I didn't like school that much. Like I didn't like the structure. I believe I had like some learning deficits. I don't know for certain. I don't know what I never got tested back then. You didn't get tested. Like I'm sure people did, but I wasn't never tested. But I just remember how my brain was, like how I thought. School, like I knew I was smart, and when I did stuff and applied myself, I could get A's, whatever. In college, I was on the dean's list for a while. I knew what I was talking about. I knew I had a brain, but the structure of it didn't fit with me, and I remember that. And that's the thing. Like I don't think people realize that. Just because even with ADHD, and I understand ADHD is real, but I don't think as many kids have it as they're diagnosed now. I think a lot of that is you take a kid and tell them to sit in this classroom, like I was talking about. Like you tell them to sit in this classroom, for one, they already have lower attention spans. They have a lot of energy. You're telling them to sit here and do something and learn in a way that is good for you or whoever came up with it. They might not learn like that. Like I don't learn like that. It takes me a couple times to get stuff. Regardless, it always did all my life, even now. It takes me some time to grasp it. But once I grasp it, I go. Like I can go. But like it's just a structured learning environment. A lot of kids can't learn like that. A lot of kids can't operate in that. They have so much energy and you're like, sit down. And because you'll take two kids, one kid will be sitting down doing his work and the other kid's running around because he has a lot of energy. He needs to learn in a different way. But you'll say this kid is fine and this kid has an issue, you know? And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's real. I think it's the structure, learning structure. But I succumbed to, I don't know if I ever was trying to be cool, but I just know I was cool with a lot of people. So I was friends with all the cool people. So I think I hung around with some of them and they upped my status, my cool status, because I was friends with them. And that's how I look. Like Cool V, rest in peace, Cool V. I just remember Cool V, like everybody was cool with him and everybody was Like, he was a cool ass dude, and everybody was friends with him. Everybody wanted to be friends with him, and he used to go out his way to make me cooler.
Mm-hmm.
So I always remember that. Like, it was a cool thing for him to do. He didn't have to do that. You know, when if he saw me getting bullied or whatever, like, he would go out his way to make them know that I'm his friend. Like, and I thought that was a cool thing. But yeah, I fell victim later on. I fell victim later on with trying to be in the mix of bullshit.
I think I had a phase of trying to be cool, but then before that I had a phase of I let what other people said affect me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's understandable though. Looking back in hindsight, like, we were kids. Like, really.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we was in high school, like, we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes, I'm like, I don't know how a kid gets through that and unscathed. I just don't. I don't think it's possible.
I'm sitting here thinking about, I wonder if the way we're socialized as kids is the best way to do it. Like,
yeah, it might not be.
Yeah.
I think about that sometimes. It might not be. But school is, I 100% believe this, school is training. The way they structure school is training you to work, to be a worker. That's what I feel. That's how I feel. I don't have any evidence. I haven't done any research on the first people that invented school and why and what. But the way it's structured, that's what it seems to me. It's just training you to work 8 hours a day. Like, just train you to go out in the world and be a worker, be a producer. Like, they don't train you to be an entrepreneur. They don't train you to own your own business. Like, you gotta go to college for that. A lot of schools. Some schools do, but I'm talking general. I know there's exceptions to everything, but
yeah, like when you get to college, you get to be more selective.
Yeah, you get to pick what you're doing, and have people. You got to really have responsibility and go to class and do all on your own. You don't have people telling you what to do. But we're gonna wrap it down. Wrap it down. What the fuck am I talking about? Wind down to wrap it up. That's what I was gonna say. I enjoyed this conversation this week.
Me too.
A lot. Like, I think I enjoyed this, but more than last pod.
Okay.
Tell you the truth.
Okay.
I know we jumped around somewhat in some places, but it's what we thinking. That's what it is. That's why it's called What We Thinking. Whatever's coming to mind. So, you got any parting words for the people?
I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any topics you want us to discuss, leave us a comment. And thank you for tuning in. And be well.
I second that. And everybody be safe out there and have fun. Enjoy yourself. Peace.
Life ain't over. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.